So today we are going to take this simple news article and turn it into this. Alright, so everything is inspired by Vox. They create some really amazing and informative videos. So I recently got inspired by one of their animations and decided to recreate it inside of Davinci Resolve. So let's get started. The first thing you need is, of course, the news article. So I have everything set up right over here. So if I just double click, so this is the news article. All you need is the headline over here, and then we also need the image as a PNG. So I went ahead in my image editing program and I extracted the image. You can also use some tools like remove BG to remove the background from the images, and it's pretty easy to do. And we have the website logo as well. Then we also have the paper texture overlay. You can get this from YouTube itself. So we're going to start off by dragging in this overlay and just put it onto the timeline like so. And the next thing we are going to do is we will just add in go to generators and add a solid color generator and put it on top. Go to generator and change the color. So we'll just switch the color to something like this and click on OK. Go to settings and lower down its opacity so we can still see the texture through the color like so. The next thing is the image itself. So let's just drag this article like so. And then we just want the headline, so we are just going to crop the left and the right, and we'll also crop the top and crop the bottom as well. And now you have to go to Open Effects and search for Luma Cure. So Luma Cure, just apply that on this clip. And before you do anything else, if you go to effects, you have the Luma Cure here. Just make sure that the Open Effects overlay is enabled. So chances are you're still in the transform over here and it's disabled. So just make sure you click on this drop down list, and from this list select Open Effects overlay, and then make sure that the pick tool is selected and just click on this white color, and that will get rid of that color and leave you with this headline. Now you can also go to matte finesse and you can just change the look of your Luma Cure. If you are not satisfied with the result, you can just change the settings over here and get the desired look. But for this case, I think that looks great. So let's just continue on with this video. And you can go to the video tab over here and maybe you can increase the zoom a little bit and change the position like so. So let's add in the logo, put it at the top like so, and it has the same thing. You just apply the Luma Cure to this and go to effects and just click on this white background. So just make sure that the Open Effects overlay is enabled, click on it, and it should get rid of the white background. And now you can go to video and zoom out, scale it down, and just place it under the text over here, and you can just adjust this however you want. Now we'll just duplicate this solid color. I'm going to hold the Alt key and just take it to a new track, and in under settings I'm just going to make sure that the opacity is 100. Go to generator and set the color to black and click on OK. Then go to settings and change the crop top and crop bottom. So we'll just create a simple line like so, and we'll just change the crop left and just make sure that it starts right next to the logo, and change the crop right as well so that it ends right under this paragraph over here. Alright, so far so good. Now what we can do is just add in the image. In my case, I'm just going to drag in the Elon Musk image because that is what the article is all about. So just drag that image in, and I'm just going to zoom out a little bit and change the position like so. And there you have it. I'm not able to see the solid color over here for some reason, but let's just try and fix that. Yeah, we just have to increase the crop bottom so that we get this line. I'm just going to create a copy of this, hold the Alt key and just drag it to a new track like so. So we have two of these images, and I'm going to go to the image which is at the top, right click on it and click on Open in Fusion page. And here I just want to, after this media in one, add in a color corrector node. Type in CC and click on add. And on this color corrector node, I'm just going to reduce the saturation and change the contrast and other settings such as lift probably, and you can change the gain amount as well. Just try to make it kind of dramatic, and I think that looks fine, so I'm just gonna leave it as this. So let's go back to the edit page, and you can see we have this varied overlay, but you can easily fix this if you go to the options under color corrector. You click on this checkbox that says pre-divide post multiply, go back to the edit page, and it should be fixed. Then on the image which is at the bottom, we just apply another effect which is color generate. Apply it on this layer, go to effects tab, and we can change the color, and you can just pick any color from here. I'm going to go with this color and click on OK. And then under video, we just change the position and bring it to the right side like so, and maybe bring it to the bottom as well. So this is our layout. You can of course change the look of it. If you don't like it, you can increase the scale and maybe adjust the positioning and all that stuff. But what I'm going to do next is go to titles and add in our text plus, put it at the top, and in the title I'm just going to type in the date of this article. So let's say this article was done on 16th August 2022, and we can change the font as well. You can pick any font and change the font size, and go to layout and change the layout as well. Put it at the top like so. I'm going to go to shading, and I'm going to select the second shading element, click on enable, and in under appearance I'm going to select border fill, click on this third icon, and for the level I'm going to select text. Right, so we have a border around the text, which is exactly what we want, and I'm going to go to layout and change the layout again. Right, something like that. You can go to text, and I think the scale, the size is too big, so just go to layout again and adjust it. So you can go back and forth and adjust it to your liking. But I think we are done with our layout, and we just have to animate it now. So let's just go to 1 second in time and start animating all of these layers. So I'm going to start off with our Elon news layer over here. So I'm going to just create a keyframe on position, go to the very first frame and change the position and bring it down like so. Then we can click on this icon to reveal the keyframe graph. I'm going to select the second keyframe over here and click on this second icon to make this graph smooth, and I can just change the handle like so. So if you now play the animation, it will be much smoother like so. Of course, you can change the look of the graph, that is completely your choice. And I'm going to just right click on this layer, click on copy, and I can paste the attributes on the news logo as well, as it will have the similar animations. Right click, click on paste attributes. Make sure you check the position property over here and click on apply. So your news logo will have the same animation and the same position. We'll change the position, so let's just reveal the keyframes over here by clicking on this icon, and we'll go to the second keyframe over here and just change the position X and position Y. So something like that. And if you play this, have this nice animation. All right, now we will animate the line. So let's just find that layer, which is over here, and we will animate it. Let's animate at this frame, and we can just move the keyframes forward. So let's just do that, and I'm going to create a keyframe on crop right, and that is what we are going to be animating. So let's just create a keyframe first. Click on the diamond icon to create a keyframe, go to the very first frame and change the crop right. Make sure that this line is not visible. You can just zoom into this and be precise with this. Right, so it's not visible now. And if you play the animation, you have a simple line animating from left to right. So you select the second keyframe, make the keyframe smooth, and just change the graph. Okay, so if you play the animation, you have this simple line animating with this easing applied to it. But we'll just select the keyframes, select these two keyframes and move them forward in time, like so, and check out the animation now. Yeah, just play around with the keyframes, change the positioning of the keyframes, and you'll have a really nice animation. I think this looks fine, so I'm just going to put the keyframes right at that position. Now we will animate the image, so let's just do that. Go to 1 second in time, create a keyframe under position XY, go back to the very first frame, and you know what, we can actually, I'm going to undo this and I can paste the attributes. So let's just click on paste attributes, make sure position is selected and click on apply. So we'll have the same animation, but we'll just go to the second keyframe over here and change the position X, bring it right over here. Right, so you can see the animation will look something like this. And we'll do the same thing on the image which is at the top. Right click, paste attributes, make sure position is selected and click on apply, and change the position like so. So you'll see both the images will have same animation, which is exactly what we want. Now we'll animate our text over here. So let's just go to 1 second in time, and we will animate it under settings and not in the title section, so it becomes much easier. So let's just create a keyframe on position XY and opacity, and let's go back to the very first frame, change the position X, and we'll set the opacity to 0. All right, so let's just view the graph over here, select this graph and make it smooth, and select this opacity and make it smooth as well. So go back to the position graph, click on it to select it, and if it's kind of difficult to select, then you can, from this list, make sure you select just the position X, and now you'll be able to select it like so. And I'm just going to go to the very first frame and maybe just decrease the position X a little bit, so we have a much smoother slope like this. Now if you play this, you'll have this animation. I think I'm going to change the opacity keyframe, so I'm just going to select that opacity and bring it forward like so. Yeah, that is, I think, much better. So let's just play around with the positioning. Yeah, that is much better. Right, so now what we can do is we can go to generators, we can go to effects and apply adjustment clip to the top, and we can apply all sorts of effects on this adjustment clip. So let's just select it and go to the Fusion page. So the first thing we will apply is this media in one is XF, which will add the transform node. So just add the transform node and we will animate it. So when the line stops animating, which is at the 50th frame, I'm going to create an animation on center X and size. So then go forward 20 frames, which is the 70th frame in our case, and I'm going to change the size, and we'll also change the XY position like so. And I'm going to go to spline, select everything, click on this icon that says zoom to fit, and then click on this icon that says select all. Hit S on your keyboard to smooth out the graph, hit T key on your keyboard to get the ease in and ease out values. We'll just ease it into 100. So if you play the animation again, you have this simple zoom in effect. Alright, so you can just zoom in more if you want. And let's actually do that. I'm going to just zoom in and change the position. Right, so that is done. And maybe we want to change the graph again, so let's just do that. Select all, and I'm going to set this to linear, and then again I'm going to make this smooth and just ease it into 100. Right, so let's just play this, and this is our animation. Right, so far so good. Now after the transform one, we will add in a blur node to this, and we'll animate it at the same position as we did for transform. We started at 50th frame and ended at 70th frame, so we'll do the same thing with the blur node as well. So start at 50th frame, create a keyframe, set the blur size to 0, and just move forward to 70th frame, set the blur size to 0 as well, and somewhere in the middle you can just increase the blur size, not too much, so just set this to 5-ish. So if you play the animation, we'll have this simple soft focus effect, and we will change the transform as well. I think there is some problem with the transform. Just change the position and that should fix it. So we have this simple animation, and I'm going to go to the transform again, go to spline, and I'm just going to select the displacement over here, zoom to fit, select the last keyframe and make sure that this is eased into 100. And for the size, we'll select the second, we set the last keyframe and set the ease into 100. So our animation will be much better now. See? So it is a quick zoom in effect. That is exactly what we want. Now after the blur node, we will add our highlight effect. So hit shift spacebar and type in BG for background. And in the background node, we'll change the color and use this color. Click on OK. You can of course use any color that you want. And on this background node, we are going to add in a rectangle mask like so, and change the width and the height on this mask, and you can just put it on any text that you want to highlight. So I'm just going to highlight this bit over here, go to merge one and set the apply mode to multiply so that you can see the text under the shape. So now you can go to the rectangle and adjust it to your liking, and I think that looks fine. Now what we can do is we can animate this shape. So I'm going to hit I'm going to copy this shape, the rectangle mask, Ctrl C and Ctrl V to paste it again. And on this second rectangle node, we'll set the paint mode to multiply, and we will just go to, let's see, so after the zoom in happens, it ends at the 70th frame. We'll start animating this line. So I'm going to move my time indicator to 70th frame and change the shape and put it to the left so that it is not visible. I'm going to create a keyframe on center XY. So now you just go 20 frames forward and just move this shape to the right and reveal the entire shape. So now you can go to spline, make sure that this node is selected, select everything over here, and then click on the zoom to fit icon, select all, hit S to smooth out the graph and just ease it into 100. So now if you take a look at it, this is your animation. We are highlighting this bit of text over here, but as you can see, it's pretty sharp, the highlight effect. So let's just add in a little bit of displacement to this. So add displace node, and we will add in a fast noise as well. So search for fast noise, click on add, connect it up to this displace, and under fast noise, we will increase the scale value, and that should be it. So we can see that it is not sharp anymore and has these distorted edges. So if you think that the position is not correct, you can just go to this merge one and just adjust the position of this highlight effect over here, and that should be pretty easy to do instead of going into this rectangle shape over here. So after this merge one, we will add in a flicker addition effect, and if you view this, you can see that the flicker addition effect in action. Yeah, I think the default values work just fine, so I'm just going to go with the default values over here. And after the flicker addition, we will add in a displace node, and this displace node we will connect our paper texture overlay. So just drag that in and hook it up to the displace node, and under displace 2 we'll set the type to XY, and we will change the X refraction, and we will also change the Y refraction. So now if you play the animation, you will have some kind of movement going on in your entire animation. So if I just crank that up quite a bit, you can see what it is doing, but we don't want that amount of refraction. So let's just make it really small like so. And yeah, that is how you can create this animation inside of Davinci Resolve. You can go back to your edit page and you will have your animation in here. Now all you have to do is just go ahead and add in your sound effects and some track to this, and you can just render out your animation. So that is just about it. That's how you can create this Vox styled animation inside of Davinci Resolve. Hope this video is helpful. I hope you learned something new. If it did, then please make sure you like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.